directories where the software needs to be copied, unzipped, download/copy the GG software, unzip the software, set environment variables, gg_home, ld library home, and log into GGques using GGques2 command. Create database user in the source database, grant DBA to GGuser, log into GGques using blogin user ID GGuser, password GGuser, create subdirectories, create parameter files, enable supplemental login, add tran data at the GG level, initial load, capture process, register data pump. Start the proc. What type of topology does Goldengate support? Goldengate supports the following topologies: unidirectional, bidirectional, peer-to-peer, broadcast, consolidation, cascading. What are the main components of the Goldengate replication? The replication configuration consists of the following processes: manager, extract, pump, replicate. What transaction types does Goldengate support for replication? Goldengate supports both DML and DDL replication from the source to target. Why is supplemental logging required? Supplemental logging is required so that rows updated on source can be uniquely identified. Supplemental logging enables the database to add extra columns in the redo data that is required by Goldengate to correctly identify the rows in the target database. We must enable database level minimum supplemental logging before we can enable it at the table level. When we enable it at the table level, a supplemental log group is created for the table column. List important considerations for bidirectional, primary key, helps to identify conflicts and resolve them. Sequences are not supported. The workaround is used to use odd/even, range or concatenate sequence. Triggers, these should be disabled or suppressed to avoid using uniqueness issue. Data looping, this can easily avoided using OGG itself. CDR, conflict detection resolution. OGG has built-in CDRs for all kind of DMLs that can be used to detect and resolve them. LAG, this should be minimized. What kind of GG issues have you worked on? GG functionality and operations involves all layers from the source/target database to network issues and more, and some other issues are due to process failures, trail file issues, synchronization problems. MGR process fails when network issues occur or network ports are blocked by a firewall. You can check by using the ping command to verify whether there is a network problem with ports. You should ensure the ports allocated by the manager process are open.
What is translog in Goldengate level? Use the translog options parameter to control the way that extract interacts with the transaction log or with the API that passes transaction data, depending on the database or capture mode. What is the advantage if we use pump process? By using pump we can avoid impact of network issues. If trail file is corrupted in target host we can resend it by using pump since we maintain one copy of trail file in source host. Recovery will be easy if any trail file CU.
What is pass-through parameter? Pass-through causes the data pump to pass the data to its output trail in its encrypted form automatically. The default of no pass-through causes the data pump to look up object definitions from a local database or a definitions file. What is a summatargetDefs parameter? A parameter that lets the process know that the source and target uses the same table definition.
What is logdump utility? Logdump is Goldengate utility used to handle trail files. Logdump is a standard utility that comes with the Oracle Goldengate (OGG) application. Logdump enables the user to view and scan for transactions and records, obtain transaction statistics, and save data contained within OGG trails. What are the different checkpoints in Goldengate? Capture checkpoint and replicate checkpoint.
What is lag? If the extract process has not been extracting from source database then it is called as lag. If the replicat process has not been replicat from trail files to target database then it is called as lag. What is difference between lag at checkpoint and time since checkpoint? Each process has its own checkpoint file. Whenever a process sees a commit in the transaction, a checkpoint is made in the file. You can see the increase in the time since chkpt when extract/pump/replicat is stopped. What is extract and replicat lag? The difference between the commit and the apply determines the amount of lagging. Extract lag is the difference in seconds between the time that a record was processed by extract and the timestamp of that record in the data source. Replicat lag is the difference in secs between the time that the last record was processed by replicat and the timestamp of the record in the trail. What is discard file? What data DO is stores? By default, a discard file is generated whenever a process is started with the start command through GGques2. The discard file captures information about Oracle Goldengate operations that failed. This information can help you resolve data errors, such as those that involve invalid column mapping. What all manager process can do. GG manager process manages all the GG processes, allocated port numbers, performs file maintenance.
What is difference between integrated method and classic method? The main difference between the classic capture and integrated capture modes is that in the classic capture the extract reads the Oracle database online redo log files / archive log files to capture changes, while in the integrated capture mode the database log mining server reads the redo log files and captures changes in the form of LCRS. These LCRS are then applied. What is difference between 11G and 12C? Classic extract was introduced with 10G. In 11GC integrated extract is introduced. 12C support internal parallelism for replicat to increase apply performance. Automatic CDR, which process supports from database end for integrated extract. Log mining server process, which process supports from database end for integrated replicat. Inbound server process, is checkpoint table is required for integrated replicat? No.
What is batchscale mode? Use the batchscale parameter to increase the performance of replicat. Batchscale causes replicat to organize similar SQL statements into arrays and apply them at an accelerated rate. In its normal mode, replicat applies one SQL statement at a time. What are few GG abend issues due to network in GG? Network problems with Oracle GG fall into the following categories: network access and connectivity, network latency, network availability and stability, network data transfer issues. What is the difference between lag at checkpoint and time since checkpoint? Each process has its own checkpoint file. Lag in Goldengate can be at extract, pump and replicat processes, lag at extract. Lag is the difference in seconds between the time the record is captured on source table and database timestamp, time since checkpoint on extract, time since extract collected last transaction on database. If the database has any long-running transaction, we can see lag on this column.
What are the trail files? Trail files are binary files that are maintained by Goldengate to store replicate data. What is RBA in trail file? Relative byte address. It is basically a marker within the trail file to identify the location of the transaction. How to find number of transactions in a trail file using count command in log dump utility. What are some trail file issues? Trail files that don't empty, trail files that don't roll over, trail file purging issues, trail files that purge too soon.
What are reasons for lag issues? 1. Missing archive logs. Status of process was showing processing data but in recovery and the lag was increasing. Send EO2MFT status, found the archive log was missing. Restored the archive log files from backups through OEM and restarted the extract. 2. Delivering a long-running transaction, waiting on a full table scan, blocked by another sessions, primary extract lag or pump lag keeps increasing. The following events could last long enough to trigger transaction timeout. Network problems prevent trail data from being delivered to the target system, running out of disk space on any system, preventing trail data from being written. Collector abends, a rare event. Extract abends or is terminated in the middle of writing records for a transaction. An extract data pump abends or is terminated. There is a source system failure, such as a power outage or system crash. What command can be used to switch writing the trail data to a new trail file? You can use the following command to write the trail data to a new trail file. Send extract ext_name, rollover. What is defgen? If data definition on source and target are same we don't need defgen. If they are different we would need defgen. Generate the defgen file and use that replicat parameter file. What is credential store? The credential store manages user IDs and their encrypted passwords known as credentials. What are the most common reasons for the replicat process slowing down? A large number of transactions on a particular table, blocking sessions on the destination database where non-GG transactions are also taking place on the same table as the replicate processing. If using DBFS, writing-reading of trail files may be slow if SGA parameters are not tuned for slow replicats. Latency may be due to missing indexes on target, replicat having to process update, delete of rows in large tables. How do you solve data looping issues in bidirectional? There are two techniques for loop detection to avoid re-extracting and re-replicating the same record: replicat extract trace table, replicat extract parameter. These endless loops can be detected and avoided by configuring trace tables on both sides. Once the trace table is configured, the replicat will write to the trace table whenever it performs a transaction on the target database. The extract on the same side will check. How do you solve data looping issues in bidirectional? Re-replicat, replicat extract trace table, replicat extract parameter. These endless loop can be detected and avoided by configuring trace tables on both sides. Once the trace table is configured, the replicat will write to the trace table whenever it performs a transaction on the target database. The extract on the same side will check the trace table before logging any entry into trail files and will ignore all records which are inserted. What are the most common reasons for an extract process slowing down? Some of the possible reasons are long-running batch transactions on a table, insufficient memory on the extract side. Uncommitted long-running transactions can cause the writing of a transaction to a temporary area, DRTMP, on a disk. Once the transaction is committed, it is read from the temporary location on the file system and converted to trail files. Slow or overburdened network can also be another reason. Extract freezes. If extract abends due to an error or system failure, it might appear to be stalled when it is restarted. The cause of this is probably because extract had to search a long way back into the transaction logs to find the beginning of a long-running transaction that was open at the time of the failure. To find out whether a prolonged recovery is the cause of the delay, use the send extract command with the status option. If status shows in progress or completed, it is normal.